Alright guys, I have a battle against pokeintemediatevargus. He's a very good OU battler. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Let me just go ahead and do this. Someone last time wanted me to show this screen a little bit longer, so there you go. There's a pretty much still image of the teams we're about to use, and looking at his team right off the bat, I can tell you that I am kind of frightened about Landorus, and most of all, Megalopunny, which is a Pokemon that always seems to screw me over when I actually fight against it. So we're going to go ahead and start the match now, and here we go. He leads with Landorus, which is usually when you see Landorus, you kind of expect it to be the lead, and I did expect it here. As I go in, I just lead with Sableye. Now, I could not Mega Evolve and keep Prankster, as he decides to switch out, and I wanted to take my Will-O-Wisp, which is kind of obvious, but he goes out into Heatran, and I actually just do Mega Evolve this turn, but I do end up trying to go for the Will-O-Wisp, so he makes a pretty nice play here. Because obviously he's going to get a free Flash Fire, and not just never good. So I'm going to switch out now into my Volcanion, yeah, it's Volcanion. I wanted to say Volcarona, but no, that's another Pokemon altogether. This is Volcanion, and I do that because I kind of expect a Fire move since I boosted it. Instead, he just goes for the Toxic. I guess probably not predicting me to stay in, because obviously I do have Magic Bounce, so it wouldn't have affected me. I guess he did predict a switch, and I don't know if he actually predicted Volcanion or not, but he did predict this Steam Eruption as he goes into Gastrodon, which does have Storm Drain. So right now I'm just kind of getting outplayed at the moment, using moves that it's actually just boosting by the enemy's Pokemon. But yeah, I just go back into Sableye now, and I do that because this thing isn't very strong, and if it does try to attack me, I know that I do have Calm Mind, so I can actually probably wall this thing quite a bit. As he switches out again into Heatran again, maybe predicting Will-O-Wisp, I don't know. But I'm just going to go for a Recover, actually, just to see what he would do. And now I'm back to full health, which is kind of nice. And yeah, he just goes for the Lava Plume. Now, it might do some damage, it might not. It does some damage, and it burns me. So that's, you know, not fantastic, as I just get off a Calm Mind. Now, so at the very least, if he tries to go that again, it will be, you know, it'll be doing less damage. And Heatran does actually not resist Dark types anymore, being that the change in Generation 6 to Steel types. So I feel pretty confident about staying in and just going for a Recover, and now I make a derpy play. Now, I knew this thing had Scrappy, but I'm like, okay, even if it does have Scrappy, it's still not going to kill me in one hit, right? And then yeah, this Megalopunny once again ruins me. I just can never remember Scrappy. A mechanic of Scrappy, I guess, because my other type is Dark, it's super effective. And I die, like a noob, and I'm like, oh, well, I'm dumb. I go into Landorus now, and get off the Intimidate, and I'm like, well, now I just need to stop this Megalopunny. Easier said than done. Although this thing can have Ice Punch, he decided to switch out, which kind of tells me it might not, as I just go for a U-turn against this Gastrodon. Doesn't really do a whole lot, but it does allow me to switch into something that I can feel comfortable with, like this Clefable, who is also a Calm Minder of mine. And yeah, I do that because even if he does Scald me, I obviously don't fear the bird since I do have Magic Guard, and I know that I can just go ahead and set up some Calm Minds, hopefully, as he goes out into Heatran. Maybe he has a Steel move, I don't know. But sometimes they don't have a Steel move. I just go for the Stealth Rocks, but I am going to switch out, though, just in case he does have, like, Flash Cannon or something. I just go back into Volcanion, know that he can take a Fire move or a Steel move, and yeah, he just goes for a Taunt, which is fine. I do have a Choice Scarf Volcanion, which is a little unusual, I suppose, but it's the one that I think the real Wands gave me, so thanks for that again. And yeah, he just goes into Gastrodon again, maybe predicting Steam Eruption. I just go for a Earth Power, and yeah, that does some damage to Gastrodon, but not a whole lot, obviously, being that it's not stabbed or anything, so I'm just going to switch out again now, because I am Toxic Poisoned, and I'm locked into a move that really isn't going to do a whole lot. So I switch out now into Clefable, because, like I said, I'm not fearing the burn at all on this thing, and I do think I can set up against it with Calm Mind. Gastrodons usually don't carry Calm Mind. They usually carry, you know, Recover. But yeah, I actually just go out into Dragonite now, predicting his switch, but he just goes for the Curse, which is something I did not expect with Scald. Already, Gastrodon with Recover and Scald, he must only have one physical attacking move, probably Earthquake, which is an interesting set because he doesn't, I mean, he only has one attacking move that can actually be used with Curse, but I suppose the idea is you get off the Scald and Burn, and then try to set up with Curse, which increases your defense, and as well as powers up your attacking move, although he can't do anything to Dragonite unless he gets the burn, and I do carry Lumberry, so I'm not, like, super afraid of Scald at this point. So, yeah, I'm just going to set up some Dragon Dances. He just goes into Landorus and then just U-turns, so that's perfectly fine by me, as he does break my multi-scale, though, which is unfortunate. It goes into Lopunny, which could, like I said, easily have Ice Punch. He goes for the Fake Out, which I knew he would do first. It's the only way he outspeeds me at this point. And, yeah, he just does that for damage, and now he's going to switch out. Because he doesn't want to die, because obviously I would outspeed and probably kill, even if he does have Ice Punch. So he goes back into Landorus, which is a good play because of the Intimidate. So I think that puts me back down to +1 attack. As you can see, he does have Rocky Helmet, so now we know the set to that thing. I'm just going to go for the Roost. I know that will trigger my multi-scale ability, which is nice, as he just goes for a Hidden Power Ice. This guy has some interesting sets, I'm not going to lie. I did not consider that, and it really didn't do a whole lot to me because my Roost was obviously just making X2 effective. Plus, I had multi-scale, but I cannot take a full power one of those and take it well. So I just go into Keldeo, which kind of wastes my Dragon damage. At the same time, it conserves my Dragonite. I just didn't want to risk losing it there. Because looking at this team, my Dragonite can do some serious work later if I get the opportunity again. So I go into Keldeo, just go for the Icy Wind, which ends up being a very good play as he goes into Latios. I still don't know if I'm faster. If this thing's like a Scarf one, it would be he would outspeed me, possibly still. And a lot of them are Scarf, so I just didn't want to risk it. I go into Landorus instead of just staying in, as he just goes into... actually, he switches too, so I'm guessing that he is not, in fact, Choice Scarfed. Otherwise, well, maybe he just also doesn't want to risk the Speed Tie, which I was not really willing to do it either. Keldeo does have the same base speed as Latios. I did have a -1 speed, but if that thing was Scarfed, then yeah, I would have still maybe been able to outspeed me. Anyway, I'm just going to U-turn again against this Gastrodon and go back into Dragonite as he goes for the Scald. I'm hoping that he doesn't get the burn because that means I'm safe. Unfortunately for me, he does get the burn, so that's going to get rid of my Lumberry, and now I am vulnerable to a Scald because that can stop a sweep right there if he gets a burn off because I lost my ability to get rid of it. And yeah, I just don't like them odds, so I switch out into Clefable again, figuring, okay, I can still go with Calm Mind strats. But he's going to switch out as well, going out into Landy. And, yeah, Landy's going to come out and get off the Intimidate, which is pointless. But it is going to let me kill the Landorus, which is one thing off my chest, as he just sets up Stealth Rocks, and I just kill it with Moonblast. So, there you go. Although, getting Stealth Rock set up against me is never great. At least I took care of the Landorus as he goes back into Heatran now. It's a good play. I don't really have a whole lot to do to Heatran, but both of my attacking moves, well, one of them is just absorbed by Heatran, and one of them is resisted by Heatran. And he's actually gonna taunt me as I just go for a Moonblast. I don't even know why I stayed in and Moonblasted. I don't actually remember. But I did. Maybe, oh, you know what I probably thought? I probably thought he tried Toxic, maybe. I don't know. It was pointless. I go out into Keldeo now, as he does something that I don't remember. He goes for a Lava Plume, which is going to be resisted by Keldeo, so that's fine. That is perfectly perfect. Keldeo does resist both of Heatran's stab moves, which makes it just a good switch in general. And he doesn't want to stay in and take my Secret Sword or my Water move, whether it be Scalds or Hydro Pump, so he just goes into Latios. Thankfully, due to the fact that he's already weakened, it is going to be able to be taken out by Sacred Sword, so that I don't have to worry about Latios anymore. Sacred Sword was an overall safe play, knowing what he had left. If he stayed in, he was probably going to lose Heatran, and if he tried to switch out, it would probably do serious damage to anything he switches into. For example, this Lopunny, if he tried to switch out into it. But, yeah, now he's going to switch into it, and I don't want to lose Keldeo. Keldeo can do a lot of work against my opponent's team. I keep saying that, but I'm trying to conserve these Pokemon, guys. I go into Clefable instead, hoping that I would take that return better, or that he would go for a high jump kick, but he doesn't, and now I switch out again into Landorus so I can get off the Intimidate against this thing. Not to mention resist the fighting move he does go for. He won't go for it, though, because I had Clefable out. Actually, he does. He goes for a Power Punch, which does negate the Intimidate I put on him. I'm not really sure why he would do that, though, because that would risk him taking a Moonblast from Clefable. That was definitely a weird play. I don't know if that was a misclick, because against Clefable, he definitely wouldn't have wanted to done that, because I resist that, and Moonblast would have done a lot of damage to him. But either way, it worked out since I resist that anyway with Landorus, and I just go for the Earthquake, and that takes out the incoming Heatran, which is awesome, as he goes into Gastrodon, which is still my mortal enemy of his team. I need to get damage on it, to be honest. This thing can definitely hurt me a lot. I go into Keldeo pretty much because I do have Life Orb. I'm hoping to get some damage on this thing. I need to get the thing in revenge-killing range, honestly. And the best way I think I have to do it at this point is a Secret Sword, so I go for that. And I'm an idiot because Secret Sword actually does physical damage, which I kind of forgot about because I wasn't really afraid of the curse. Secret Sword is a special move, but it does physical damage, so I'm thinking here that I'm going to get the 2-hit KO with Keldeo. It's not the case because he is going to be doing... I'm going to be doing less damage due to the fact that he has the curse, which is really dangerous for me because curse also helps him, obviously, resist damage from my Dragonite. And on top of all of that, on top of everything else, my Keldeo is running out of time because of Life Orb. So I go out into Dragonite. I'm just going to risk a Scald. Even if he Scalds me, I mean, obviously that would suck, but this Gastrodon really can't do anything to me other than that. I mean, obviously he's not going to kill me with a Scald. He's not going to kill me with Scalds, and he can't Earthquake me. I can Roost against him. Actually, he can Earthquake against me if he predicts a Roost. I just go ahead and set up a Dragon Dance. He goes for a Scald. He's trying to get that burn on me, and he doesn't get it this time. I'm trying to get maybe a 2-hit KO here with Dragon Claw. I end up just getting a crit, which is good for me because it does clinch the game pretty much for me. He doesn't really... I have a hard counter to pretty much everything else that he has, so at least there's that. I do clinch the game there. He's always kind of lame to clinch a game, though, on a piece of hacks, but, you know, I'll take it, man. I will take it to the bank. I'm not really sure what would happen if that crit didn't happen. It would have probably come down to a bit of RNG, whether he gets to the burn with the Scald or not. But, yeah, we'll see. Well, we don't know. We'll never know. But, yeah, I just go into Landorus and come in to kill this Mega Lopunny. He ends up running in a few turns here. I think maybe just this turn. Yeah, he just runs. Knowing that he's lost, but that was a good game anyway. And let's go to today's question of the day. Make a new item for Gen 7. Today's question of the day is come up with a new hold item for a Pokemon that you think would be pretty cool. Now, I've heard rumors of a counterpart to Assault Vest, and I'm just going to go with that because I think that would be an excellent idea. An Assault Vest, basically, for physical moves instead of special moves. I think it would open up a lot of possibilities and take physical sweepers down a notch. But, of course, that would add to the bulkiness of the metagame, but I like the idea of it. I don't know what you can call it. You can call it the Assault Armor. I don't know. Anyway, leave a comment about that, and see you guys again next time. Later.